Hey, Dirt Track Features fans, we're back in Millsboro, Delaware again, this time to talk to the wild child, Amanda Whaley. Amanda recently engaged to Ross Robinson. She jumped in a modified last year, and don't forget, went on that hot streak in July as well. So we talked to her about that and a lot more in this episode of Dirt Track Features.
By side to the lead into the corner. Whaley on the outside of Hubbard will drive by and take the lead out of turn number 2.
All right, so we're here at Dirt Track Features here with Amanda. Amanda, thank you for having us. Where to start? You really kind of, your whole racing career has really kind of taken on a life of its own. I mean, you go to Southern Delaware to these race fans, and their favorite is this four right here. They love them some Amanda Whaley. I mean, what's that like? You show up at the track and you know you're probably the most popular one there.
It means a lot to me, you know, to have people stand behind me, you know, buy apparel, you know, root for me up in the stands even when we run bad. It's really encouraging when you run bad, you know, to have those people still behind you. It's really cool. It's
got to be a lot of fun now. This little thing right here on your hand, that just happened, what, 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, that was, like I said, that was a big surprise to me. I told him, I was joking with him afterwards. I said, I really didn't even think you liked me that much. I guess you do. You're committed now.
Well, you said yes, right? I mean,
I did.
You had to. I did. You got to. It's got to be reciprocated. It's not a one-way street.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you race with him. I mean, that's got to be. Is it challenging at all? I mean, have you guys ever anything? You know, because he has. I mean, he's pretty good too. So the two, you know, you're not.
He is really good. I found myself chasing him a lot of the times, but
I think he would say he's chasing you a lot.
Yeah, he probably would. No, I mean it's a lot of fun. It's not really a big challenge. I mean we go out there, we have fun together. We come home and talk about things that honestly we've gotten to the point. I've learned a lot more about it. So, and of course he's traveled on the road with other guys. So. We've gotten to the point where, you know, we can come home and talk about what, you know, he tells me what I could do better. I give my input on what I think he could do better. And, you know, it's pretty cool. It's like, I got my boyfriend there, but it's like, almost like a coach to me. Yeah, fiance. Oh, it's all new to me.
It's new, I gotcha.
Yeah, thank you for correcting me. No, but it's like, he's almost like a coach to me sometimes.
Has he been doing it longer than you? Or?
Yeah, he's raced, gosh, I don't know. I'd say since he was like 4. I think he said, you know, he's raced. And going out on the road with those guys has really helped him a lot. So it's nice to have his input, you know, when we come back to the house or the shop or whatever, and we talk about what we can do to get better. So it's a lot of fun racing with him.
Do you feel like racing with him, like you can maybe be a little more aggressive because you know that he knows you're not doing anything, you know, with intent? Or
yeah, I mean, I race everybody just as hard, really.
Right, yeah.
I want to beat, Ross will say the same thing. We want to beat each other just as bad. You know, I've had friends all throughout racing, and the closer I am with somebody, the more I want to beat them.
Right,
you know,
that's a lot of people say that. Yeah,
so. And it's just exciting. It's exciting with us, you know, racing together.
Do you ever kind of, when you win or when he wins, do you ever hear about it, especially when you beat each other? I mean,
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. But that's all part of it.
Right. I mean, that's got to, you got to make it fun.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we wanted to talk about, and a lot of people were talking about, you around month of July this past year, you were late models. Everybody knew who Amanda Whaley was. You had it cooking.
Yeah.
You wanted Bridgeport, Georgetown, everywhere you went.
Yeah.
You were, I mean.
July was an awesome month. I'm telling you.
It's my birthday month, so.
It was my mom's too, so I kind of made it out like this is all for you, Mom. Yeah, it's all for you. No, July was definitely a good month for us, and we actually started it, you know, June, the King Barnes deal, and we swept that night, and we had I want to say it was the weekend after that, we had problems in hot laps and couldn't run. Ross actually let me borrow his car. It was double features that night. So I ran his car for the first feature while my crew was back there fixing mine, and I finished 4th with that. And then I had started at last in the feature with my car once we got it fixed. And I had come from out of 15th, I think, the 2nd, you know, reeling him in for the win, got a flat tire and stuff. So
you're working it hard to come through the field like that.
Yeah, it was a challenge, but even though we didn't win, you know, as many as we probably should have, you know, we were very consistent and very fast. So, yeah, that was that was a good time for us, definitely.
What, I mean, was there something that clicked? Because it seems, I mean, you'd think, a lot of people would think it's racing, once you figure it out, you have it.
Right.
But there are times where you really,
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't have it.
but then there are times where you really have it, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you just ride the wave as long as you have it, I
Yeah.
mean.
We were on like, sort of the same setup as what we had been running. I had kind of felt some improvement in myself. It was like once you won the first one, you felt confident again in yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, I won the first one at Delaware that weekend. After King Barnes kind of did it for me. You know, I was like, I can do this.
Right,
I
yeah.
got this.
Yeah.
And then we had that good run at Delaware. So I was like, you know, we're really fast right now. If I just keep doing what I'm doing, you know,
It'll
everything
come.
will work out.
Right.
It needs to work. And it worked out. And we just kept. We had, what, 3 wins in 7 days?
Yeah, it was wild.
And I think that helped too. Like, the more you race, you know, just like that, racing.
Yeah, you find a rhythm.
7
Yeah.
nights. Yeah, I mean, you got to keep doing it. Just like the off season, it's a struggle getting back into it sometimes. You got to keep doing it. And I don't know, I just had the confidence in myself. My crew had the confidence in me. Ross had confidence in me. You know, so it was a good time.
It was a fun month.
Again, hopefully.
So part of that little stretch was Bridgeport, the 3-for-all. None of you guys had ever been on that 3/8 track. It's obviously brand new, so it was a lot of people's first time on it. But you know, none of you guys had ever run it. So you win it. I mean, I remember your Victory Lane interview was, "I came here to win," so we were going for it. But I mean, new track, new everything, really.
Yeah, it was kind of cool too, because everybody was, you know, nobody had been there yet, so everybody was all kind of scratching their head about what to do. I can normally, I kind of almost consider that as like sort of like a Potomac deal.
Right.
I can get, if Potomac's got moisture in it, I can get around that place. As soon as it, you know, goes away, I'm no good. But I kind of knew, like, the moisture staying in the track and all, and I just knew we ran good hot lap. Well, we didn't really run too good hot laps. Heat race, we ran good. And I was like, you know, if the track can just stay like this, I think we got a good chance. And darn if I didn't go up and draw the 8 pill.
Yeah,
just, you
isn't
know,
that the way?
Heat race and you draw the last pill. So then I was like, kind of freaked out, because there were so many good cars. Not a whole bunch of cars, but everybody that was there had a chance of winning it.
Right.
So I don't know. Again, it's funny because I had gotten shuffled back a spot on that one restart, and I had to let off for a guy who was spinning, and I got passed. So they put the next guy in front of me, and I don't know, it just lit a fire under me, really. And then I was like, I'm not gonna ride back here.
Right.
And then I went to the top the one time, and
you found it.
there it was. I don't know. It was, I guess, all over after that. That was a good time.
It was fun too, because you'd see, like, it's fun. One of my favorite things when racing happens, you know, kind of everybody's in one groove, and somebody's like, you know what? I'm trying something, and it works, and then all of a sudden everybody's up there,
Right.
and you don't know it, but I mean, Austin, well, you probably have seen the video now, but while Austin jumped to the outside, and he didn't let you go. I mean, you drove away from everybody else, but he came right back at you. I mean, he's got to be one of your more fun people to race with, Austin, doing what he's done, been on the World of Outlaws tour.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, anytime you can beat Austin, and I mean, you're doing something. And what that was like, another thing funny too about that night, Ross, he said afterwards, we were joking about it, and he was like, I just wanted you so bad to pass Austin too, so it wasn't just me. He said, I didn't want it to just be me that you passed. So, but yeah, Austin, he knew right away, like, everybody was just single file.
Yeah.
I can't, you got to try something.
Right.
You'll never know if you don't try it.
Right.
Even if I fell back a spot, you know what, I tried it.
I tried to go forward.
It didn't work, but the one time it did work, so, yeah, I don't know, I had to do something.
The 3/8 track, I feel like you're going to be a little biased, but the 3/8 tracks had mixed reviews, especially from drivers. What was your feelings about it? I mean, again, you only were there once, so I know, you know, but a lot of people, like I said, had mixed reviews. You won, so you're a little more. You're a little more
on the positive side of that. Yeah. I mean, it was fun, but it's a little bit rough. It was kind of dark. Yeah, a couple times I was afraid I was going to go to the wrong track. But I mean, it raced. But once people realized like where to be at, kind of, and people started moving around some, you know, it raced a little bit better. But I mean, I have really no complaints about that night. I can't say anything bad about the track.
I didn't. Yeah,
that's a great job.
To keep it right.
Yeah. I don't have much bad to say about it. I mean, think a couple improvements.
Right. Well, and that's what
potential.
it's new, so it's always everything's going to come with good and bad. But I figured you'd have more positive than negative things to say about it.
Yeah. If I'd have made it bad, I don't know what I would have said. But no, I mean, there's definitely potential there. You got to start somewhere, learn, listen to everybody what their opinions are, and make some changes. But I think they're off to a good start with it.
All right. So we're going to get into, we do 2 rapid fire segments.
Okay.
This first one is non-racing related.
Okay.
So these are going to be non-racing related questions, rapid fire. We kind of pretend there's a 20-second clock here for you, but
oh geez.
I think you'll be quicker, I promise. They're not too hard.
Okay.
So, all right, ready?
All right, I think.
Hamburgers or hot dogs?
Hamburgers.
Beer or liquor?
Beer.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Favorite sport that isn't racing?
Baseball.
That a girl. I like it. Dog or cat?
Dog.
Dog. Favorite music genre?
Country.
Country?
Yeah.
All right. See, that wasn't too bad.
No,
it was just 6.
Yeah.
Right. I told you. See, I wouldn't come here, come to your nice shop. You let us come down here. I wouldn't throw you under the bus.
I appreciate it.
How many dogs do you have?
I got 1.
1?
Yep. He's like my whole world.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I have 1 too. Same way.
Yeah.
So, female, obviously. I'm sure it comes with positive and negative. Nowadays, especially, everybody's so sensitive. I'm sure it's more positive, but I mean, do you ever, whether people say it to you or a Facebook or anything like that, I mean, do people ever actually get under your skin, with something negative they have to say, whether
they can. I've learned really though, getting into the whole racing back when I first started and all, I had a lot of people who really didn't like racing with me. A lot of people around home, they didn't like the fact that I was a girl, which luckily I used to have Stacy running with me, so she kind of helped me out a little bit. We both were hated, but the fan part of it, it's a positive.
Right.
I sell a lot of apparel. It's just something different for people. So, but I look at it as I just want to go out there and race. I want to be looked at as another racer. I don't.
Yeah, you don't really care.
I don't want people to be like, oh, she's a girl, I don't like racing with her. I want them to respect me, look at me as just another competitor that they got out there. But, as far as the fans go, I think it's definitely a positive.
Well, the fans, and there's a lot of, when we came here, I'm thinking there's a lot of little girls that probably look up to Amanda Whaley now. And then I realized, my mom, I told her, my mom is, my brother races, so all the rest of us are back there working on my brother's car, getting him ready for the feature, and there's a lady standing up on top of our trailer, rooting like her son's out there. And we talked about the fanfare, but especially with women, and little girls. That's got to be a lot of fun for you, for a little girl to just come up wearing an Amanda Whaley shirt and whatnot. It
is cool. I had a girl who races over at Potomac. She just won, her class this year, the points, and I had actually surprised her with one of them. I didn't realize at the time that she was such a big fan of mine, so I had got, contact with some people over that way, and I gave her one of, the doors on my car or whatever, and I watched it. I told him, I said, when you give it to her, I want you to video it at the banquet because it's going to be the coolest thing. And they said that she cried, and that was just it was so cool to me.
Right.
Like people actually look up to me,
Right.
I shot her a message afterwards. I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Just work hard at it. You just gotta keep doing what you're doing.
Well, you said you had Stacy. Was Stacy that for you at all, or?
Yeah. Me and Stacy weren't like me and Ross. We didn't bounce stuff off of one another.
Right.
I did look up to Stacy when I first started. She had been in it for a few years, and I really looked up to her, and she kind of helped me get through some of the negative stuff.
Tough times,
that we had going on. So in a way, she helped me out.
And so now your racing career has grown to more than just this thing.
Yes.
You've got the big block now. You ventured into that last year.
Yeah.
I believe one of the short track Super Series races, you made the redraw. So picking that up pretty quick, I guess.
We've had a fast car the couple times that I ran. I've not yet even finished a feature in a modified, but I think there's potential there.
Right.
I think it kind of drives like a late model, so it took me a few, laps to get used to it, but I think we're going to be okay, hopefully not holding people up anyway, but that started out my stepdad, Clay. Clay Tapman has I don't know if you guys know Clay, but he has modified, and he had 2 of them, and he told me one night, he's like, why don't you just jump in and drive it? So I was like, oh, what the heck?
Right, yeah, if you're throwing it out there.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it. So we actually ran pretty decent. We had some struggles in the feature that we had to pull in, but, you know, and I kind of thought that we might put his other car together, and like I'd run it every now and then, and then, I don't know, my dad called me that week, he's like, hey, what do you think about getting it modified? It's like, I'm not going to tell you no.
Right,
you know?
Let's go for it.
If you really want to do it, yeah, I mean, we'll do it. But we got a lot going on right now, for sure. We got the crate, you know, late model, and the super still. It's a lot going on.
So what are the plans, you know, for next year? As far as, like you say, you just said you have three cars, 3 motors.
I don't know. I'm going to run every local show, like Brett's shows. I'll run all his shows, late model, modified, everything.
I was going to say, are you going to follow the series, the Super Series? Or?
I don't think. I'm going to focus still more on my late model.
Okay.
The modified is just going to be for when we're not running that, pretty much. But I will be at all his local shows as long as nothing crazy happens. And then, you know, the late model stuff, I think I want to run for points at Delaware. I say it every year. Every year I say it, but something always happens, and I just want to get one before we're done with it, you know.
Get a track championship.
Yeah, and just, you know, not call it quits after that, but then we can go to, you know, hit
do more special, right.
So I'm waiting to see that schedule, see how much we're going to run, see what all we're going to miss this year, but I'm probably going to be pretty local. I got enough to keep me busy around home.
So the crate, because I've barely ever seen you in the crate. I mean, is that another just kind of specials only kind of thing? Or? Yeah,
pretty much. Me and Dad joked around one night, this car, when we had the open motor in it, it wouldn't go. No matter what we did with it, it was terrible. We were on the verge of selling it. And it kind of was like a joke. Dad said, well, why don't we put a crate motor in it? And I was like, that might not. You know, they had just started coming out with all the big crate races that year and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, that really might not be a bad idea. So we put it in there, and darn if we didn't run, it went. You know, win Georgetown first night. So I was like, this was a good idea, you know. So, but it's just a special occasion deal, and just, again, whenever we got off.
Right. I've talked to people that actually said, like, and I guess it depends on the track you're at, but running the super or a big block is in ways easier than running a crate, whether it's modified or late model.
It can be.
Because it kind of goes and does its own thing, whereas the crate, you're kind of, you're getting it in, you know, so like the first night you jump in a crate, obviously it came okay because you won, but I mean.
Well, we started on the pole that night too, so that
doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, so, but no, when you have that kind of horsepower and there's other cars, you make a mistake, you have a better chance of making up for it.
Right.
These things where everybody's so equal, you can't make a mistake. It is a challenge, especially when you have to start 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever it is, you know. You really got to work for it, so no mistakes, definitely.
Well, you're working for everything, the supers, the crates, the modified. I'm really intrigued to see what you do at a modified because, I mean, as far as locally, the modifieds are much bigger. It's, you know, there's a lot more drivers and this and that. So, I mean, is it something you can see yourself growing in, or you're going to? I
don't know. I feel like that's like you're so die-hard with like a football team or something, and then all of a sudden you jump on the other bandwagon. I don't know if I can do that. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how it goes. I mean, you never know. Wherever the money's at, and if we can make a little bit of money at it, bring some money back in, then we'll do whatever.
Have you ever thought about following? Well, I mean, I guess, you know, you talked about you want to win the local track championship first, but I mean, is there more to going out that you want to do? Like this, I feel like the way I'm interpreting, you have like a list of things, and before other things, you want to win this track championship. But I mean, how far does, late model, I mean, how far does that go for you that, you know?
I would love to run the Outlaw Series. You know, that's something me and Dad talked about, but financially, it's
hard.
Until I get somebody major in here, it's not going to be able to happen. So that would be my goal, and if I could do that once, I mean, even if it was done the next day, like that would be awesome. But that would be probably about as far as I would go. Like people have asked me before, would you go to asphalt, or would you do this? No, I don't. That doesn't excite me.
You seem like a dirt girl.
Yeah, like NASCAR. I watch 5 laps and take a nap. You know, it's not for me.
Right. So you want to play in the dirt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we'll get a little bit more into the World of Outlaws thing because obviously you've been there now, what, 3 years I believe it's been that they've been to either Delmar or Georgetown?
Yeah, I've it's probably been 5 or 6 now that yeah.
And you've run in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. I want to do this second set of rapid fire questions. So these are the racing related. So this will be even easier for you. So we actually cut the time a little bit. It's racing related, so you got to be quicker.
Oh, okay.
So you got 15 seconds for these.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather Ross win or you win?
Me.
That was quick. Favorite race of 2018?
Shoot, King Bars.
You kind of already answered this. Modified or late model?
Oh gosh, no, late model. See, y'all almost got me. Definitely late model.
Favorite driver to beat?
Ross.
Favorite track to race at?
Oh, geez. Delaware.
World of Outlaws or Lucas Oil?
World of Outlaws.
World of Outlaws.
Yeah.
So that can be a good segue. Although I was really wondering who you were going to say for favorite driver to be because there is Austin, there is Ricky Elliott, but
and there's Ross.
You get to come home and make fun of Ross, right?
Right. Yeah. It's all fun.
So the World of Outlaws, you said 5 or 6 years now you've run against them when they've been around here. I was at the Georgetown race this year, and I talked about it with Brett. One of my favorite memories of this year was fast time in hot laps at Georgetown is Amanda Whaley. And I swear to God, I thought the bleachers were coming down.
That's what Brett said, yeah, shoot. That would have been crazy. We started off really good that day.
Yeah, that was.
And then went out there and timed like next to last. And I was like, what happened? But I was sitting in my car waiting to go up to line up for time trials, and they were going over the hot lap, you know, who was fastest or whatever, and I could hear them back there in the pits over cars. I mean, it was a crazy thing. I don't know if it got in my head, and I knew like I couldn't let them down, but I let them down. But we had a good feature, so that was good.
I was going to say the feature you talked about. You don't like riding around and whatnot, and a lot of people rode around in the World of Outlaw race. You were passing as many cars as anybody. I mean, you were the most fun to watch on that track that night. I mean, what's it? I mean, those guys come to town and they're the big boys, and obviously it's your home turf. So I would imagine you have the mindset like, I don't care. I can beat these guys.
Yeah.
But it's still got to be a little fun. Yeah. You know, when Chris Madden and all these guys come in.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you got to go into it knowing that you can beat them.
Right.
You know, because if you don't, you're already out to lunch.
Well, you led laps a few years ago, Delmar. I mean, you started up front, but you led quite a few laps.
Yeah, that was about 3 or 4 years ago at Delmar. We led. He was like 9 laps.
Yeah.
And I gone. I mean, big time. Like my dad, he was scratching his head, like, what's happening? Like, I've never seen anything like this. But still came in the top 5. That was pretty cool. We were the first girl to ever lead laps, to run top 5, to do any of that. So that was pretty cool. But I'd love to do it. I'd love to go run the tour. I don't
think they want you to.
I don't know.
For the simple fact, I feel like they know what you're capable of. You give yourself a little bit of time. I think they know what they'd be in for. But you know, like I said, the Georgetown race this year I thought was a lot of fun when you set fast time. And then I was talking to people, and your T-shirts, especially when you go to Southern Delaware, your T-shirts are everywhere. How much? I mean, do you worry about that at all? I mean, selling the T-shirts, or you just? I'm going out to drag because they sell quite a bit. I mean,
I leave my mom, stepmom, all that. You know, they all take care of all that for me. But my Maryland fans, they are some loyal fans.
I remember one of the Georgetown races. It was modifieds and supers, but that Georgetown was full.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap! I mean, I know it's 2 headline divisions, but I mean, the Southern Delaware. I mean, between you guys and the modifieds, I mean, they really come out, and it showed. I was talking to I don't know who it was. The guy who sells your T-shirts. I don't know if it's different, but at Georgetown,
it may have been Clay, my stepdad, who raced it.
He said that we were going to burn the place down if you won the World of Outlaws. That was him.
That was him, yeah. He told me that too, yeah.
I thought that was really funny, though, because I'm like, you know, you say that, but I imagine that parking lot would be pretty, like I was calling out of work the next day if you won. Like we were staying, we were having a good time.
Yeah, that was going to be a good time, but maybe sometime. I guess they're not coming back this year, so I don't get them. Yeah, well, so we actually just went to Brett. It's going to be like its own entity, so you're probably still going to get a lot of the guys, and it's going to pay more. So, so go win it. Trust me, if I get anything like that, when it's something that big, it's still going to be a big party. You might still want to call out of work.
So, You talked about your favorite driver to beat was Ross, but there's some other. I mean, Ricky Elliott's been in this for a long time. He just won the track championship. He's got to have a bullseye on him too for you.
Yeah.
Ricky's done a lot in this sport.
Ricky's Ricky. You know,
Right.
he's about as tough as you're going to get around here. Just same with Austin. I mean, they're also ones that I definitely want to beat. You know, because that you know that you've accomplished something when you beat them. So they're definitely tough. I'm going to miss racing with Ricky. You know, again because. You know, when you beat him, you've done
it's
something.
Fun, yeah, right.
Yeah, so now I don't get the chance to do it anymore. But you know, yeah, it's fun.
Right.
You know, everything about all this deal it's all cool.
So when's the wedding? Would we have a date yet?
It's gonna be after race season sometime. I don't know. We haven't really picked out a date yet.
Okay.
We're just going with the flow. Probably gonna be 2020. I don't know. And it's probably gonna be like December after racing.
In the cold.
Yeah.
In the cold.
Probably. But I guess that's part of it.
Yeah, right. Well, as long as it's not in racing season, you're good, right?
Yeah. He already told me that's a negative. Not happening.
So real quick, I mean, websites, fan pages, anything people can follow you, keep up at?
On Facebook, we got a Whaley racing page that I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty terrible about keeping up with. But that's my goal for the year.
To be better at that.
Keep up with that page better.
You don't have people. Come on.
I told my
hire
stepmom,
people.
I was like, you gotta do this for me. Or my mom, somebody's gotta take care of it for me. I can't do it. But we don't have a website. But Twitter, I think it's A-Whaley4 on Twitter.
Hopefully.
Follow us on there. Yeah.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah. It's me, A. Robinson here soon. I'll let you know when that happens. But yeah, you can find us on social media, Instagram, stuff like that.
Well, thanks for having us, Amanda.
Yeah,
Go win that track championship.
I appreciate it.
Spank up on the World Outlaws boys, all right? Dirt Track Features, Chris Moore, Dylan Corcoran behind the camera. Thanks to Amanda Whaley for having us.
Thank you.